Jesus. In fact, the price is more than many of us are willing to pay. G.K. Chesterton said the Christian ideal has not been tried and found wanting, but rather it has been found difficult and left untried. The Christian ideal has not been tried and found wanting. It has been found difficult and left untried. C.S. Lewis remarked, if you want a religion to make you feel really comfortable, I do not recommend Christianity. If you want a religion to make you feel really comfortable, C.S. Lewis says, I certainly do not recommend Christianity. Mahatma Gandhi posited 7 deadly sins that, if not explicitly dealt with externally, will be our demise both internally and eternally. Gandhi says the 7 deadly sins are wealth without work, pleasure without conscience, knowledge without character, commerce without morality, science without humanity, religion without sacrifice, and politics without principle. Permit me to extract number 6 from the list with a slight variation. Gandhi calls it religion without sacrifice. While I submit this amendment, attachment without commitment. Not religion without sacrifice, as dangerous and deadly as that is, just as deadly is being attached to Jesus and not committed to him. Brothers and sisters, third world Christians are information poor but commitment rich. Sadly, we in the West are information rich but commitment poor. The demands of Jesus are incompatible with partial commitment or casual discipleship. Jesus does not put anything in the fine print. All of it is in bold relief. Let me see if I can make that make sense. I did not find out until Hurricane Harvey. That my deductible was 2% of my home's value. I had some damage. Some shingles came off during Hurricane Harvey. And the insurance adjuster came because water was coming in through the roof. And the insurance company got all kind of tricks that if the water comes under, then they don't pay for when it comes over. And if it's wind damage, they don't pay for water damage. And they have lawyers on retainer to keep them from having to pay you. So I had some damage on my roof, shingle damage on my roof, and I did not know until Harvey that my deductible was 2% of my home's value. So my deductible was $6,300. And of course, my damage was $5,100. And so I called my insurance company to tell them that I had some damage, and they sent an adjuster out. And of course, all he found was $5,000 worth of damage. But my deductible was $6,300, so I would have had to pay them for helping me. And so I called my agent and to find out what was going on. I did not know that my deductible was 2% of my home's value. She said, Reverend, it's in the fine print. Now raise your hand if you've ever read your insurance policy. Nobody here hardly reads an insurance policy to find out what's in the fine print. You find out after you have a claim because they will do everything they can not to pay you. Jesus does not put anything in the fine print. Everything is out in the open. Jesus was never a con man pushing a product while hiding the real costs in the fine print. Instead, he realistically spelled out his requirements nowhere more clearly than in this passage in the Gospel of Luke. Rather than actively recruiting supporters, Jesus seems to be effectively discouraging followers. Some people desiring to follow him came in the crowds, and when he got the crowds with him, he told them, except you hate your mother and father, your brothers and sisters, your wife and children, for my sake, you cannot be my disciple. His motivation was to enlist intelligent, realistic devotion. If you're going to follow me, Jesus said, here are the requirements. There's nothing in the fine print. I have no trick up my sleeve. I don't have an ace under my shoe. I don't have any strings attached. I'm telling you, if you're going to be my disciple, this is what you're going to have to do. And Lily Grove, we are full of members and short on disciples. I said we're full of members and short on disciples. 20% of this church does 80% of the giving. See how quiet you got right there? You come not to give. I said 20% of the members. I told you it's going to be hard to hear this sermon. 20% of the membership does 80% of the giving, while the rest of you enjoy our lights, our air, our parking, our pews. You don't give a dime because you're a member and not a disciple. I'm not going to let up on it, so you might as well get with me. You intentionally come late to sit in the back and not be involved and not get into any ministry. We can't contact you with a congressional search warrant because you intentionally give us the wrong number, because you don't want to be ministered to, because you don't want to minister. Talk back to me if you can. I know you wish you'd come at 10:30, don't you? It ain't gonna get no better at 10:30. You're sitting too high not to be given. You're hollering too much not to be a disciple. You too out front. You dress better than you give, because you are not a disciple. If any man will come after me, you've got to deny yourself, take up a cross, and follow me, not just on Sunday, but daily. Now, hear me, brothers and sisters. The conditions of discipleship are these. Jesus' disciples do not merely choose to be disciples, they are chosen. And they share not only in his message, but in his mission. It is not a call to adopt a philosophical principle or pattern of behavior, but rather it is a call to fellowship with Jesus and to be obedient in service to him. The way of discipleship is nothing less than a cross. A cross is not an ornament. A cross is not a piece of jewelry. A cross is an instrument of death. If you would come after Christ, you've got to die to yourself. Die to your desires. Die to what your family wants. Die to what you think you have to have. Die to your way of life and come to believe what God says about his son. What does it mean, Pastor, to die on a cross? When you are crucified on the cross, you can only face one way. When you're on the cross, you can only face one way. When you're on the cross, secondly, not only can you only face one way, but there's no turning back. You can't even look back on the cross. Not only is it facing one way and no turning back, but no further plans can be made for you. Because the die has been cast. The decision has already been made. If you would be my disciple, Jesus said, the first thing you got to do is hate your mom and daddy, your brothers and sisters, your wife and children. Now listen, he's not talking about hate them like you hate a snake or you hate traffic in Houston or you hate getting up in the morning. He's not talking about hatred of somebody who's an enemy that you just hate and despise and you just can't wait to see him go. He's not talking about that kind of hatred. This farmer was on his tractor plowing up some ground and he plowed up a bottle and a genie was in the bottle. And he got the bottle and rubbed it and genie came out and said, you have 3 wishes. He said, but remember, whatever you wish, your mother-in-law will get double. And so the farmer rubbed the bottle and said, my first wish, I wish for 1,000 acres of land, fertile farmland. His mother-in-law got 2,000 acres of farmland. His second wish, he said, I wish for $1 million. His mother-in-law got $2 million. The genie said, this is your last wish. Think well, think carefully. He said, I know exactly what I want. I want you to beat me half to death. Somebody's going to get that on the way home. I'm not talking about that kind of hatred. He says you've got to hate mother and father, brothers and sisters, meaning before personal relationships, I have to come first. Even in your marriage, your husband can't come before me. Your children can't come before me. Your parents cannot come before me unless I am first in your life. You cannot be my disciple. He's got to be Lord before your personal relationships. When I was called to Lily Grove at the end of 1989, going into 1990, when I was called to Lily Grove, my mother was out of town. She was in Alaska visiting with Winkie. And when she came back, I told her that I had been called to be the pastor of Lily Grove Church. And my mother got physically ill because she thought I was going to be in Eunice at True Light for the rest of my life. And she hated the fact that I was going to leave and come to Houston. She did not want me to leave Eunice. She did not want me to leave our home church and come to Houston. She said, you don't know those people. They don't know you. You don't know what's going to happen to you. I'm not going to be around there to cuss nobody out. You don't need to go there. And I said, well, I just want to do what the Lord wants me to do. She said, well, how you know that's what the Lord wants you to do? I said, I just know that's what the Lord wants me to do. And she was physically sick. I mean, she had to get in the bed sick because I left Eunice to come to Houston. But I had to turn my back on what my mother wanted to come and follow after what was God's will. You have to hate. You have to put Jesus before your mother. I don't know any woman I love more than my mother, but I had to put my mother's wishes aside to come and pastor this church. And when I got my first anniversary and gave her some money, she said, the best thing could have ever happened to you. And every time I would leave, she would just almost cry because I was leaving. When I gave her that money from Lily Grove, she said, be careful on the road. Unless you hate mother and father, brothers and sisters, for my sake, you cannot be my disciple. He must come before your personal relationships. Then he must come before your personal reputation. Sometimes you will be hung on a cross for what you believe. You will be despised because you take a stand. You will be hated because you don't want to go along with the crowd. But Jesus said that unless you can accept that, you cannot be my disciple. He said you've got to hate your own life. Your life has to become his life. His life has to become your life. Everything that God wants for you, you have to want for you, even if it's uncomfortable. Even if it's painful. Even if it's hurtful. There are some things you just can't walk away from. I mean, there are some entanglements you need to leave alone. But when it comes to Christ, you just can't walk away from that. You just cannot be a Christian on Sunday. You've got to be a Christian every day because you've got to deny self. And the hardest person to tell no is yourself. If you want to know how much somebody loves you, tell them no. If you want to know how deep your friendship is, tell them no. I don't have to go to lunch with you for us to love each other. I don't have to agree with everything you say for us to love each other. Everybody here, I think I told you that several Sundays ago, everybody here needs somebody in your life who can tell you the truth. Even when you don't want to hear it, even when you don't like it, even when it hurts you, you need somebody to tell you the truth. And Jesus said, unless you deny yourself, tell yourself no. Because listen, not only must you say no to yourself, you've got to say yes to Christ. Because saying no is just half the battle. What are you saying yes to? And many of us cannot give God the service that he deserves because we're so busy. Satan don't care nothing about you being busy. What are you busy being? What are you busy doing? You busy. You don't have time. You got time for everything you want to have time for. Pastor, I can't tithe because I got all these children. That's the Lord's children. God never created a mouth he couldn't feed. Pastor, I can't give because I got so many bills. Live in your means. Don't spend more money than you make. Because if your income is less than your outgo, your upkeep going to be your downfall. Pastor, I can't give because I'm just on this little fixed income. Everybody's on a fixed income. They don't raise my salary over here every week. I wish they would. But I have to give out of what I'm given. And if you are not faithful in that which is least, God will never put true riches in your hand. Are y'all listening to me? Because money, listen, money is the least of God's blessings. And if you are unrighteous with the least of God's blessings, God will never trust you with anything big. You'll never be his disciple. That's just the way it is. That's the condition. But then there's a cost involved. Discipleship is more than enthusiasm. It is a life to be seriously considered and sacrificially constructed. Who building a house or building a tower without first counting the cost? Who constructs a monument without first determining how much it's going to cost? Who builds a life without knowing what it's going to cost? Because if you're going to build a life for Christ, it's going to cost you something. And unless you are willing to pay that price, you will start, but you can't finish. It'll be like a monument almost prepared, but the top is missing. It'll be like a life almost great, but something is missing. Something is off. Because not only must it be sacrificially constructed, it has to be steadfastly completed. Brothers and sisters, hear me. I want to finish my life strong. I want to finish this race strong. You were not here, many of you were not here for our annual church meeting, and I submitted my documents to the deacons and the trustees of our church. I have given them my retirement papers. I am going to be retired officially 5 years from now. If the Lord lets me live, I will be pastor emeritus after 4 years. 5 years, I'll be retired. I'm getting out of here. I don't even want to be Baptist. I'm going to join the Presbyterian church, or I'm going to join the Catholic church. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women. Blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of our death. Amen. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. I might not even go to church, but I want to finish here at Lily Grove strong in the Lord, because the only time it is a good time to leave is when you left it better than you found it. And I hope I have left this church better than I found it. Now, I ain't going nowhere yet. I'm going to be here 5 years to get on your nerves for the next 5 years, if the Lord lets me live. But in the meantime, I want to watch my step. I want to watch my walk. I want to watch how I give. I want to watch how I live and teach and preach and grow stronger at it so that I can finish strong. And then I will give God back what he's given to me. I will surrender my assignment. I will have completed my commission, because I want to be not only discipled, but a discipler. I don't want to spend all these years, 35, 50 years, building a life of service and tear it down overnight. And that can very well happen to you if you are constructing with the wrong materials. If you are building on a faulty foundation. And then finally, not only is there a condition and a cost, but there's a commitment. Our usefulness depends on our spiritual distinctiveness. And our distinctiveness is our unqualified commitment to Christ and his ways. So why don't you resolve this year? I'm going to give God my best tithe. I'm going to give God my best time. If I can be early for work, I can be early for church. If I can get my children to cheerleader practice and football practice, I can get them to youth ministry and Sunday school. If I can be committed to my civic club or to my sorority or to my fraternity, then I need to be committed at Lily Grove Baptist Church. Because when all of those things are gone, only what you do for Christ is going to last.